Yes, recording is started. So, let me just share my screen. Hope you are able to see my screen. So we are actually, we are bigdatahandson.com. We take sessions on big data, data science, machine learning, deep learning stuffs. So machine learning, we are starting the machine learning part today. We have done with data science and introduction, probability statistics, probability distribution, numpys, and introduction to data science or the last sessions. So you can see that inside this meetup videos. If you go to bigdatahandson.com, you can go to meetup videos, and you can see our all old videos, which is here part this that is the introduction to data science, probability statistics, distribution, and the NumPy part is here. And so this was the session took uh, on previous thing. Now we are going to learn in, that is, we are going to enter into the deep learning stuffs, sorry, machine learning stuffs. So lots of people are joining for machine learning. If you want to see the previous sessions thing, no, you can see the probability statistics part. But and also I want to iterate, if you want to join in our thing, no, then you can go to big data, our YouTube group. Then you can visit our thing. You can visit our thing, and you can select what video you like to see. You can click on this, and you can check out the videos. If you want to subscribe to our channel, you can click on subscribe. If you want to, give likes, no, you can just click on this and give likes. If you want to dislike the video, you can click on this and provide your basic comments, so that it would be helpful for us to rectify the issues which we have. So you can give either likes or dislikes to our videos. Also, then so that's it. So Irfan is the trainer. Dinesh would be joining this session, and during the later part of ours. And myself, I am Khalil Ahmad. Irfan is the trainer. So Irfan would be continuing the session. Thank you. Irfan,
Yes,
you can proceed. So let me just give you the make host.
okay, thank you.
Okay. From today, most 99% of this, 90% of the session would be practical. Maybe one or two sessions would be theoretical. Sorry, maybe 5-10 minutes would be theoretical. On other sessions would be fully practical. So please make use of it, and whatever doubts you have, please ensure that you type it in the chat window which you already have it. So it would be easy for us to go check out what is the problem. So there is it would be easy for us to mention to get the problem, and we would be able to answer it at the end part. That is last 15 minutes, no, we'd be able to answer it like 7:20 to 7:30. We'll be able to answer it. Okay, Irfan, you can continue. Thank you.
Okay, from today we are starting machine learning. So, what is machine learning basically? So, learning in any process by which a system performance improves from experience. The basic is the machine learning learns from a past experience. That is the machine learning. Here, in traditional way, we give some data and we do some conditions, put some conditions, and we have a output. But in machine learning, we give the data and the output, what output we are expecting. So based on that, it will learn and give you the solution. So you give you the program, that's the same thing. uh, A computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to the some class of task and performance measure. Okay. So when would we use machine learning? Machine learning is used in that human expertise does not exist, and like navigation on Mars, and human can't explain their expertise, like speech recognition and medicines, and the models are based on huge amount of data. That means if you have a huge amount of data, our prediction will be good. Okay. In machine learning, we have three types. One is supervised and unsupervised, and another one is reinforcement learning. So, what is supervised learning? Supervised learning is a process of a teacher and student. So, teacher teach the student, and student will perform the task and give the solution. So that means you have a data. So in that data, we have a labeled data. That means for this and this input, you have this output. Okay. And the our algorithm will learn from the data. So that is training data. So from the training data, it will do some predictions. So that is our supervised learning. And unsupervised learning is a self-learning process. That means we don't have any supervision, so to train us. So that it will automatically, it will learn from the data. So in the unsupervised learning, usually we have unlabeled data. And another one is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is an algorithm learns to react to an environment. So that means you have an environment, you need to find what is that. So that means when you initially when you are in childhood, so you saw an animal. Okay. So you don't know which animal it is. So we'll ask someone, so what is the animal. So then after that, if you saw that animal, you will classify that, okay, this animal, it's a cat or it's a dog. So it is learning from the environment. So it has some actions, so do some actions, what is the output is coming, and based on that, it will have some rewards or it can be error. So from this, it will learn to improve the actions. Okay, that's reinforcement learning. And in supervised learning also, we have two types. One is classification and another one is regression. What is mean the classification? Classification means when you have when you are going to predict the categorical data, like true or false, uh, high or low. So that is the categorical data, no? So predicting the categorical data, that is classification. So we are classifying the categories. And regression. So regression is process of predicting a continuous variable. So what is mean continuous variable? So that means we have height, weight, age. That is continuous values, no? So predicting the continuous values, we use regression. So in unsupervised learning, so unsupervised learning, we don't have any labeled data. So that what we'll do, we will do some cluster and separate the categories, and based on that, we will learn from that. So like here, we have some feature 1, feature 2. So we plot some graphs, and we separate those categories. So that is our class A, let's say class A and class B. So methods are like k-means, Gaussian mixture, hierarchical clustering. So and reinforcement learning, usually called as an agent. So agent performs some actions to the environment, and from that environment, what will be the output? So based on that, it will give some uh, reward or some error, and it will try to improve that action. So this goes on. So the loop will goes on. That is reinforcement learning. Okay, and machine learning tools. For machine learning, we use Python for this session. So in Python, we have a module called scikit-learn. So scikit-learn has all the functions and the algorithms needed for machine learning. It's a popular algorithm, for popular library for machine learning in Python. Okay, then this is the process of the machine learning. So initially, we get the data and prepare the data. So and cleaning and preparing and visualizing the data, and the second, and the third is training the model. That means we are just training our algorithm, training the machine learning algorithm to predict and give some test data to predict, and it will give you the prediction values. And if that is the prediction is low, we can improve, we try to improve our predictions. So first two step we will see today. So this getting the data and cleaning, preparing, manipulating data. Let me open the spider. Let me create a new file here. So to getting the data and visualizing the data, cleaning the data, we want some libraries now. So what are the libraries? Yesterday we saw like pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. These three libraries are used for that. So let's say numpy as np, and importing the pandas, and importing the matplotlib. So let's run this. So successfully we are imported the libraries. Now what we need to do, we need to get the data. So from where we can get the data? From file we can get the data, or website we get the data. Now we have I have the data. So let's say the data.csv. I'm using this data for pre-processing steps. What are the pre-processing that have? I will perform the pre-processing in this data. Okay, so now the data is in our local machine. So this, that is the data is csv file. Now we need to read the csv file. So how you can read that? Yesterday we saw now, using the pandas, we are just reading the csv file and creating the data frame. So that means like df equal to, so this data frame pd dot the pandas. In that pandas we have a function called read csv, or else we have excel, or many functions we have based on your type of your data. So now the type of my data, that is csv file. So I will just read the csv file, and we need to give the name of the file. So the name is data.csv, and let's run this. So now we got the data set. So if you want to see the data set, you can go to the variable explorer, and here we have the data frame. So it has four columns: country, age, salary, purchased or not. So like in country we have some country names: France, Spain, Germany, and age, salary, and purchased yes or no. So initially, if you see that in all the machine learning algorithms works in mathematical. So in mathematical, usually we don't have any characters, we only use numbers. Okay, so the first thing we will uh, like categorize the datas. Like in country we have France, Spain and Germany. These are the categorical data. It means we need to convert the categorical data into the numerical data that our machine learning algorithm can understand. So this as well. And before that we will see, you can see here, so we have a nan is nothing but the empty value. So in this column we have some empty values, and in this column we have some empty values. Empty values affects our machine learning algorithms. So we need to handle that missing values. So how you can handle the missing values? If you have in 100% data, if you have 1% of missing value, you can just drop the line. But if you drop that data, you can miss some of the features, some of the important features you can miss. So that's why we will try to fill the empty values using some strategy like mean, median, like that. So first we will try to fill the missing values. But before that, machine learning, first we will separate those variables, that is independent and dependent. So dependent means what we are going to predict. So that is our dependent variable. In this case, let's say purchased or not, that is our uh, dependent variable, let's say. And these are our independent variable. Independent variables are the variables that will use to predict the uh, dependent variable. So now we will separate those variables, let's say x and y. So x is our independent variable. So our independent variables are three columns. First three columns: country, age, and salary. Yesterday we saw in the data frame we are just slicing the data frame. So that means we can separate the columns. So to do that, we need the data frame. In that data frame, we can use a lock or ilock. If you are using the lock, you can give the name as well. So that means you can give the country, age, salary, the names. And first we need to give the rows. How many rows you want? Of course, we want all the rows. So to apply the all the rows, you can just give the colon. So that's it. So that means if you in Python, if you give empty as a colon, it will start from beginning and end, from the end, from starting to end. So and these are our rows, all the rows we want. And what are the columns we want? If you have only one column, you can just give like this. Give only one column. But if you have more than one column, what you can do, you can just give it in a list. In that list you can pass the column names, as we have age and okay, country, age and salary. Okay, these are the three columns which we want and all the rows we want. If you use the lock method, now if you use the ilock method, what will be our code? So if you are using the ilock, in that ilock we need to give rows and columns. How many rows you want, how many columns you want, so that are numerical. So all the rows we want, so we can give as a colon, empty colon. And now that is how many columns we want. So of course we want the three columns from the beginning to the 0 1 2, because the index start from 0. So 0 1 2. So we can give like from the beginning, so you can just leave it empty. And here we need to give from uh, so country age salaries from 0 to 2. So if you give 2, you cannot get the salary columns, because the last values will not take in Python. So you need to give 3 here. So this is the lock method and ilock method. So these two are same as this. You can see here, I will print those two variables. So these two are the same, you can see that. So this and this, sorry. So two outputs are same. So that means we can use lock or ilock. So now I will keep as ilock. Ilock means index location, and we got the independent variable. Now we want the dependent variable, that is y. In this, our y, that is purchased column. So from the data frame, we want ilock, and of course we want all the rows, but only one column, the last column. So we can use the last column. For the last column, if you have, let's say, how many columns have you don't know, so you can use a negative index also. If you have the dependent column, that is last one, so you can use the negative index. Negative index in Python starts from -1, -2, -3, -4. So you can just give a -1 also. You can also give the correct index like 0, 1, 2, 3. You can give 3 or -1. This positive
Irfan,
or
Irfan, before that, no, like Sandeep, one of the person named Sandeep Reddy, he has asked like in LOC, in log, how index came in the result, no? You can see that in the chat. Can you just answer that before we
so
proceed?
it has some difference between lock and ilock. In lock, we usually work on labels.
Okay. Can you just copy the question and you can paste it in the,
Okay, okay,
so
okay.
all others also can view it, right?
So the question is, in lock, how index came in result. Available. Okay. So we have some difference between the lock and ilock. So the lock usually works on labels, and the ilock will work on the positions. So that means, if you let's say you have a data frame here. So this is our data frame. So positions are like uh, we have columns and rows. So this is a two-dimensional data, so rows and column. If you want to give the position of this one, so what it will be like a row, that is 0, 1, 2, that you can see here. So 2, and the column 0, 1. So 2 comma 1, that is the position of this item. So in lock, how will we look like you have the second row, and you can also specify the column name, so age. So that means we can work with labels as well. You can give the name of the column name as well. So that's the difference between lock and ilock. If you are using the lock, it will be like so it will be like, sorry, okay, should be like all the rows. That means all the rows are also a label, and this also called a label, and this also called a label. It's not a uh, position here. Okay, you can also give like how many rows you want. You can give in a list, let's say 0 comma 1 comma 2. So these are the rows we want, and in that comma, after this comma, you can specify what columns we want. Let's say I want from the country, and I can have from the age. Okay, so if you print this, so I will print this. So you can see here, so we got the 3 rows only and the 2 columns. So it's the use of log, and in ilog we usually give the index values. So we will give some indexes from where to where, and the row the row from where to where. If you are giving the empty, from beginning to end, that means from beginning to end. And the column from where to where, from beginning to second, but it's not taking the last one, so remember that. So from the last minus one, that is 2, from 0 to 2. So this work on index, and this can be work on the labels. Okay, so I hope you understand this. Okay, thank you. Okay, we will move on. Now we have the dependent and independent variables.
Your doubts will be answered normally. No, your doubts would be answered at the later part of session. So whatever doubts you have, please put it on the chat window. So but if you want to ask doubts intermediately, please unmute yourself, just ask your doubts if it is 100% really necessary, or else no, you can put it in the chat. We would be able to answer the doubts at the end of the session, like my last 5-10 minutes. No, we will be sparing this for doubts. Irfan, you can proceed.
Okay, so let's see our dependent variable and independent variable. So you can see here we got the variables, but here this as well we have a data frame, like this data frame only. So but we don't want like the data frame, we want an array. Okay, numpy array. So our algorithm will work on to the array only. Okay, so to get that array, you can just put a dot values here, so it will give us a array. Okay, so you can see here we got we have uh, data frame only. So if I run this, after running that, it will be changes to matrix. So I will show you that. So you can see here now it's become an array. So we have columns and rows and columns. So we got y variable. So there is an array, no, yes, no. So we collected the data. Now what? Now we need to fill the empty values. To fill the empty values, we use some strategies like mean, median. To do that, all the pre-processing steps we want to apply the to your data, all the modules we have in the scikit-learn library. Okay, from the scikit-learn library, you can whatever function you want, you can just import that. So sklearn, that's our library. So inside that, we have a module called impute. Impute is used for filling some empty values using the some strategies. So from that impute module, we want the imputer, simple imputer. Okay, simple imputer class. This is our class. So for this class, usually we will create some object of this class. So let's create imputer, the object name, and the class. So inside the class, you can see here we have some what are the variables. One is the missing values, strategy, what strategy we will use, and you can just ignore that. So that means you have defaultly that is np.nan, so that means the nan values, and the strategy is mean. You can just usually ignore that, but if you want to say change the parameters, you can also change that. So after creating the imputer object, we need to apply this object to our data. What data? Our x data, no. So in that x also, we need to apply only those only those columns where you have the missing values. How do you find that missing value? Where, which column, how many missing values we have? Let's say if you have a million of data, how we will find that? So using that pandas, we can find that very easily. Yes, using that pandas data frame, you can find that very easily. That means you have a function called df dot info, I think info. This will be give you some information about your data frame, like how many columns you have, what is the type of your column, and how many values are non-null. So you can see here country has non-null 10 non-null, and purchase at 10 non-null values, that means non-empty values. But here age and salary, we have some empty values. So that means we need to uh, apply the computer, so to the uh, age and salary columns. So and one more person tell, like in that pandas also we have a function called fill na means filling the nan values. That's also very useful. Like how you can do that, that is df dot fill na. So you can do that using the function also. And so we can just fit this object to the x data. Okay, we are just fitting those x values. What are the columns we want? Not the whole data, but we just the two columns that are in the x variable, no. So these two columns only. So how you can find those two columns? So the slicing, numpy array slicing, yesterday we saw now. So like all these rows we want to apply, and which column we want, 0 1 2. So 1 2 1 under 2 column. So from 1 to 2, but we need to give 3. Okay, so after applying that, it will return the value, and we need to change the values as well. It will the input of the fit transform we will use. I will tell you what is fit and transform is doing. Okay, transform. Okay, transform, and it will return the changed value, and we can just change our x variable. So I will run this. Okay, now it's fitted. If you want to see that, you can just print the s. You can see that the nan values is become the average of the column values. And you have another method. I just tell you that the fill na. In fill na also you can use that. That is method, what method we want and what axis. Axis means from rows you want to apply, or from columns you want to apply. Let's say I will also show you this one also. So like method, which method you want, like we need to type the method equal to, let's say, mean. And axis, which axis? Axis 0 means the column, axis 1 means the rows. I want to apply the rows. Okay, invalid fill method. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I need to apply the value. What value we need to apply? So that means you need to find the average of the. Uh, so I will tell you that why is the problem in the df.fillna function. What you need to do manually, you need to find that average, what the mean should be, and you need to give the value, which value I'm going to apply to the data. Okay, but in this imputer class, no, you no need to find that average manually, so you can just fit and transform it. Okay, I hope you understand that. Basically what we will do, fill na in here. In that we need to give a value that is the average of the column. So which column? So df of the, let's say, in age we have empty, sorry, dot mean, I think. And also you can apply from the x array. In that array, what so you need to give like this, fill in a. So what value we need to fill that. And also sometimes it will not you want, if you want to fill that particular column, you can just give which column I need to apply. This thing you need to do that manually. But in simple imputer you can just give the what columns we want and specify those columns. It will automatically convert calculate the mean and median. So you can just, it will return to the values. Okay, so after applying this, we got the x uh, cleaned clean now. Now the next step is, like, you have some categorical data, no? So our machine learning algorithm will not understand the categorical data. So you need to convert the categorical data into the uh, numerical data. So how you can do that? There is a two method. One is label encoder and another one is one hot encoder. I will tell you that what does that mean. So label encoder and one hot encoder. So the label encoder will work on like categorical data, and it will convert the uh, categorical data into the numerical one. Like if you have an apple, it will assign the apple to one. Whichever apple is comes, it will put one. Okay, and for chicken it will put two. In broccoli it will put three. What happen if you only do the label encoder? What will happen? So in that, these are the numerical one. Okay, so 2 is greater than 1 and 3 is greater than 2. So our algorithm will understand like this, like chicken is better than apple. Okay, so that's the, uh, we want not like that. So what we can do, we can use the one hot encoder. So one hot encoder, it will convert every category to a single feature. Okay, single column it will convert. So if you have an apple category, it will convert that into apple column. So and chicken, we have a column, and broccoli we have a column. So what is the advantages of this one? So that means you are not telling that apple is greater than chicken and chicken is greater than broccoli. So we are just separating those columns, and if that apple appears here, put the apple column in 1, but the chicken and broccoli will become 0 0. Now if the chicken is appear, then change the chicken value to 1, and these two all will become 0. That means we are not uh, overriding that columns. Okay, so that's the use of label encoder and one hot encoder. If you have more than two categories, you can use one hot encoder. If you have only two categories, let's say in our case we have yes and no, so you can just use label encoder. That means if you have yes, that means 1, and no, that means 0. So that is useful. But if you have more than two categories, you need to do one hot encoding. Okay, so to do that, we need a class for label encoding and one hot encoding. So first we will do one hot encoding. So to the this column, to this country column. So we can find the one hot encoder class inside the sklearn library, and inside pre-processing module we have the one hot encoder, all the function you have one hot encoder, and another module we want, like sklearn dot compose. In that compose we want the column transformer. So why we need the column transformer is because every category we need to convert that into single column, no. So for France it will create a column, for Spain it will create a column, and for Germany it will create a column. So that's thing. And now we need to create an object for column transformer, and in that column transformer we need to give some parameters. One is the transformers means which column you need to apply the one hot encoding. Okay, transformer. Okay, transformers, I think. So transformers, which takes a list. In that list we need to give a parenthesis. In that parenthesis you need to give three values. One is encode, we need to encode the categories, and which method you want, one hot encoding. So you need to give the class one hot encoder, and you need to put parentheses because this is a class, no. So and which column I need to apply. So the first column, the index of the first column you need to give in the square brackets, that is 0. So 0 index column, we need to apply the one hot encoding. And after that, uh, after we have another columns also. So we need to we don't need to apply all these columns. So for that we need to put reminders equal to, okay, reminders or reminder, I think that is pass through, I think. Yeah, pass through, I don't know the failing. Okay, reminder, let's try this one. Let's try to run this, and it's just creating the object of column transformer, I think. Okay, successfully we created the object, uh, and after that we need to fit that into our data. Which data? X data. So it will return the X value, so we need to change that X value. So let's fit that. Okay, I know that. Okay, pass through, filling mistake. Okay, pass through means don't do anything to the columns, which I not specified here, and just pass the columns. So now successfully we got. If you see that X here, you can see we got three columns, three new columns. One is France, Spain, and Germany. So if that France is exists, that will become one, and these two become zero. So if that Spain is appear, this become one, and these two become zero. Okay, so we are converted our x variable, but we need to convert the y variable as well. And in y variable we have only two categories, yes or no. So you can just use uh, label encoder. We don't want these stuffs, just label encoder. From that pre-processing, we need to import the label encoder, and we need to create the object for the label encoder. And of course we need to fit the label encoder to our data. So now let's run this. We see the y variable, so you can see it becomes 0 1. Okay, now we are converted our categorical features to numerical features. So what is the next step? So the next step is feature scaling. So what is feature scaling means? So feature scaling means, like let's say example, age, salary, let's say. So this has different scales. Every features have different scales. If you have different scales in your data, let's say the age, it can be from 1 to 100. Let's say the scale, I'm telling the range of the data, zero, it can 0 to 100. And the salary, it can 0 to 80,000, whatever we want. But here you have from 83,000 to 0 to 83,000. You can, if you see that the scale is ranging very differently. So this is one 0 to 100, and this is 0 to 83,000. So that means this column affect more on the output. So what that means, this has some influence, this column has some more influence on that output. So that because of it has some large values, but it has some less value. So to scale that in a single range, okay, if you have some different range, we are just scaling it to one single range. Okay, it can be anything from -3 to +3. Okay, so I will show you that how it's look like. This is our standard scaler. Okay, so if you have some ranging like 0 to 100, 0 to 1, before the scaling we have the scale as like this, the scale of one feature like this, and one is very high, so another one is middle one. After the scaling we have some same scale, the scale is same for every features. Okay, the standard scaler assumes the data is the normally distributed within each feature, and will scale them such that the distribution is now centered around 0 with a standard deviation of 1. Okay, and the mean and standard deviation are calculated for this feature. So the formula is look like xi minus mean of the x column, the column, and divided by the standard deviation. Okay, so to scale that, of course we have a class uh, from the sklearn. I think pre-processing, everything has in pre-processing. In that we have a standard scalar class is used to for scaling our data. And we, of course, we need to create object of the class, no, sd standard scalar, sorry, standard scalar. So we need to fit that standard scalar. And one more thing I want to tell you that, like this is our data x variable, let's say. But in the x variable we have converted categorical data into numerical one. The question arises like, If you want to apply standard scalar to the categorical features, no, we don't apply the standard scalar to categorical features. Why I will tell you that is because this categorical data has some meaning. Okay, it has some meaning. So if that is 1 and 00, it has some meaning, like it is France. If that 001, it has meaning as Spain. Okay, if you change that scale, it will become from -3 to +3. So that means if you don't have any meaningful, no, so it will not meaningfully. So what we'll do, we will just ignore this categorical data. We will just apply on these two columns that is varying very differently. Okay, so to apply that, of course, we need to fit and transform that. Fit and, oh my god, I forgot to do one more pre-processing step that is very important, splitting the data. Okay, not a problem, we will apply later. So I will just tell you the standard scalar. Okay, after that I will tell you that splitting the data. Okay, and here we need to apply which column we need to apply. That's two columns. The index of these columns 0 1 2 from 3 to all. Okay, all the rows we want from 3 to all. Okay, after that it will return values. We need to change that columns which has applied 3 to all, and that's it. If you run this, you may see scaled data. Okay, into shape. What is the problem? Okay, could not broadcast input array from 10 comma 2 into, oh sorry, uh, I just forgot to put colon here. Okay, okay, so working now. If you see the text, you can see that our data is scaled. It is varying from -2 to +2. Okay, this is the standard scalar. And one more important step I forgot that, that is splitting the data set. Before, after the encoding part, we need to split the data set into training and testing. Why we are splitting the data, which because all the data we don't want to use. If you have uh, large data, you you don't want to use all the data, you can just use the part of the data and train our model, machine learning model. After training that machine learning model, we use some new data to predict how our model is performance, how the performance of our model. We use the test data. So that means we need to split our data set into training and testing. How we can do that, we will see that. Sklearn library into model selection. In that model selection, we have train test split. So this is used to for splitting the data set. So it will return four values: x train, y train, x train, x test, y train, y test, I think. Yeah, x train, x test, y train, y test. So I will put that x train first, x train comma y train comma y x y test, y train comma y test. And we need to call this function. In that function, we need to give the data x and y, and we need to give two more parameters. One is test size and another one is random state. I will first I will tell you the test size. What is the test size means? The test size is means how many values you want in the test data. So let's say I will put 0.2. That means 20% of the data will goes to test data, and other 80% will become train data. Okay, I hope you understand that. And another parameter we have like random state. I will tell you that. uh, I will just run this one. Okay, I will comment this. We don't want, after the train test will split only we will apply the standard scalar usually. And if I run this, I hope I get 4 variables. If you see here, x train, x test, y train, y test. So first I will show you that here, x underscore train. So you can see that we have eight eight observations in test train data and two observations in tested. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, I just changed that to x train. I just put y train another time, so that's the problem. Okay. Okay, no problem. So now if you see that the x test data, we have only two observations. uh, what is the parameter random state is used for? You see that uh, observe carefully, you can see that it is just randomly it is taking the values. Okay, so every time if you run that, I will run again, you can see that, just remember this order. So 38, 37, 35. Okay, I will just run one more time. If you see again, you may see the change. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, this is changing now. Every time if you not apply the random state parameter, it just every time it will be change. But if you apply the random state, let's say I'm applying 20, so and only I'm taking the values 20. If I run this, running one more time, and if you see that training data, so remember this order 50, 35, 34. And now I'm running one more time. I'm just printing another time. If you see that the order will not change. Okay, that means we want the random state. Okay, now we can see that that is the same as what we get uh, before. Okay, so this is the use of the random state. The 20% I will shuffle the data. So if you don't specify the random state, every time the data of the splitting the data will change. Okay, you may change. And we are just using the random state to have the static randomness. So that's why we will use the random state parameter. And after that we will apply the standard scalar. So to have the training data and testing data, we need to apply both training and testing data for standard scalar, of course, and splitting training data. Okay, and also we need to apply this to testing data. And in the testing data, you need to change the name test as a test, and here as well this test. And one more thing we need to do, that is, you don't want to fit again. Before that I will tell you that what is fit and transform means. Okay, after that I will tell you why we are not fitting into the test data, just only we are fitting into the training data. Okay, and fit, transform, and fit, transform, we have three functions: fit, transform, and fit, transform. Fit, what will do? The fit will calculate the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, to in that standard scalar, the fit only will calculate every feature, will calculate mean and the standard deviation. Okay, and the transform will apply the mean and using that mean and the standard deviation which calculated, it will apply all the data, all the values it will apply. And what is the use of fit and transform? It will do both one in single time. So it will calculate the mean and apply the formula. Okay, now why I'm not fitting into the test data when just transforming it, I'm just applying uh, you know uh, the formula. Why is it? So if you see that in machine learning algorithm, we are using a training data. Okay, remember that we are using a training data. We just fit the training data and it is learning from the training data. Okay, In that training data, we have a scale. So that scale we will use for testing data. What it will have, if you fit again for the test data, that means you are calculating another mean and standard deviation for the test data. Okay, not for the training data, for the test data. If you apply, if you don't apply the fit, it will use the uh, mean and the standard deviation, which will calculate it for the training data. Okay, I hope you understand that. That means the range of the testing data also vary from -2 to +2. What the range we have in the test data, training data. Okay, sorry. Okay, I hope you understand that. So let's run this. So I will show you the training data first. So you can see here from -2 to +2 is varying. But if you see the test data, this also will range up to -2 to +2. That range is in the training data. Okay, the scale of training data, say it applies the scale to the test data. Okay, uh, from this we will okay, one more thing I want to tell you, and that is feature selection. It is feature scaling, and another we have feature selection. That is very important. When you will use feature selection, when you have, let's say you are given a data that has more than 30 columns, let's say all the columns we don't want, all the columns if you use for training, so it will not, the prediction will not go. Okay, so from the 30 columns we will select the columns which affect our output. Okay, it has some most influence on the output. To do the feature selection, we use correlation. Okay, okay, correlation I have tell in that second part, I think. Yeah, to find the correlation, that is like you can just easily find that correlation using the, let's say I am just using the x data dot, I think, correlation. Okay, can just, I think, use the data frame as well, I think. Df dot core, sorry, core correlation. So I will use another data which has more columns. Let's say churn modeling, it has more columns. I will show you that. So it has, this is the data. Now let's read the churn modeling data. Okay, if you print the correlation of this data, okay, so this is our correlation data. These are the columns. Some columns are hidden. Okay, now some columns are hidden. Okay, so that means uh, all the columns which are affecting, like all the columns are, okay, let's say 0.1, this is the highest of this. Okay, for the exited, so let's say this is our output, let's say. Okay, the balance column is more affecting, more than other columns, is affecting more on that output. So this is our correlation. So you can select which columns are affecting more to the output. That column we can use for the model creation. Okay, not the whole columns, just selecting that columns. That is the feature selection. Okay, I hope you understand all this. We can end this session from this. Any doubts you have, you can ask now. Okay. Any
I
doubts?
guess Irfan, one of the person Gomati, she has asked a doubt, I guess. It is there in the chat.
Uh,
You can put it in the notepad and answer.
where is that?
In chat, find missing value,
Yes,
value use panda function.
yes, I have tell before. Before that, finding missing value shall we use pandas function fill any? We can use, but in that fill any function, I tell already that is you need to find manually the mean and the whatever median. You find manually and give the value to apply the NA NaN values. So for each and every columns you will do, but in imputer class, no, you can just give all the columns. It will automatically it will calculate the things and apply the values. Okay. So any doubts? Any other doubts?
So please ask your doubts. Like the sessions. No, we just continuously move on for 10 days from now to from now. Like we'll go mostly into machine learning algorithms inside linear regression, logistic regression. So this 10 days is sufficient for you all people to go to self-learn machine learning and deep learning. So please make use of these sessions. Any doubts you have? Please unmute yourself and ask doubts. We are ready to answer right away.
Uh, will you cover TensorFlow? Uh, we will use Keras library, but we don't use TensorFlow. I need to practice more on that TensorFlow because it is very huge now. So I will copy that. It asking, will you cover TensorFlow? I will try to cover, but I don't know TensorFlow. I'm just learning the TensorFlow. It's because it is very complex, you know that. But in our sessions, I will use Keras library. Keras library, uh, you can use the Keras library very easily. So, okay.
Uh, Nikki, just want to answer it. At least one presentation. See, it is a fixed session. Like all 10 sessions is been already planned, so we cannot include in this series. We will include TensorFlow in next series because we all using Keras. Using Keras, the same functionality is being done in TensorFlow. So we do our thing based on Keras. So TensorFlow, no, we will do it in our next series. We cannot include any other session inside this current session because it
So,
is 10
okay.
sessions already pre-planned. It cannot be interrupted.
So another person asked, like, kindly tell about objective of data processing, data pre-processing. Data pre-processing usually we use for, let's say if you have an empty value, so if you apply the empty value in our model, so it will give some errors. Okay, so you need to handle that missing values. One thing. Another one is categorical data. So if you apply the machine learning model, categorical data, so it will not understand the categorical data. The machine learning, all the machine learning models are working on the mathematical one. So uh, you have some formulas to do that, and that formula will only work on the numerical one. No, so that's why we are just pre-processing the data to apply the machine learning model. Okay, that's why we use data pre-processing steps.
Yes, the presentation will not be shared. So the videos will be shared in our Google Drive, like in YouTube. Presentations and data sets will not be shared. And it would be charged like rupees 500. And in Google Pay, if you are making rupees 500, then we'll be able to share all those presentations and data sets. It will not be shared free of cost. But the video which we take will be loaded in YouTube. Using that, you can see that videos, no, like you can see those videos. Presentations, data sets will not be shared free of cost. Any other doubts you have technically?
Hello, Efron.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay, we changed the on using one heart encoder. We changed the name, right? Of France, Spain, and all other
Yes,
countries'
yes,
name.
yeah,
Then again, how I will change that into? We changed that, right?
yes.
We transformed, but
uh,
how I can retrieve that names again?
no, why we want the names? We have the meaning of that. No, if you have 100, it has some meaning.
Yes.
Let's say France. If you want that in output, if you have, let's say, in the y variable we have no and yes, our model will only give you 1 or 0 only. Okay, I think you understand that.
Oh, okay, okay.
Our model will only give you 1 and 0. Based on that, you can change it to, if that is 1, you can just print okay, okay, yes. If that is 0, you can just tell no. So
Okay, 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 okay. I
our
understand.
model will not understand the
Okay,
things. Okay,
okay,
that
okay.
output we need to change the thing.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Irfan, just in continuation to that, right? So once we transformed the data, we got three new columns, but
Yes.
we did not have the headings for that. How do we know which is for France, which is for Spain?
Okay. Okay, you can, sir, but it will not give you the column name. But one thing you can understand that from this, that is, if you have let's say, I will tell you
Uh,
in our tell you, yeah.
yeah, Dinesh here. Can you repeat your question? Okay, yeah. My question was we did transformation for a country column and we created three new columns with numerical data, that is 0, 1, 0. So for now, I can compare the data and see where France was there, it is having 1, and where it is not there, it is 0. But in case I have too much of data and too many columns I'm doing, right? How do I compare that without heading? That's the one hot encoding help you to segregate your categorical data without losing your weightage. That's the one thing you are converting to the one hot encoding concept. If you want to know that particular country or whatever the category value, then label encoder can identify. But there is no weightage will be followed. So, but in one hot encoding, it will not lose any weightage. That same output you will be getting because we will not be reduce that categorical variable, right? If it is a independent with dependent variable. So that's the reason we just segregate like that. Okay, okay, thank you. Any other question?
Irfan, one of the question, no, like Gomati has asked, can you see that in the chat? Is that been answered? What are all the condition or comes under data pre-processing?
Hello. Data pre-processing we have to identify, and it's depends on your data representation, and few of things we have to validate it. So missing values we have to identify, and implicit that missing values we have to apply some proper that values like a mean, median, or whatever we have to apply. And data should not be in categorical. That's the reason we just convert everything into the numerical, because all the statistical and mathematical formula will be react only with the formula, sorry, numerical numbers. So it should be converted. And data splitting, you will be going to test with the train and test, right? So that kind of data you have to split it, right? That is you have to validate properly. Otherwise it's go to overfitting, underfitting. A lot of the chances are available. While you're selecting the data, what are the dependent variable that we have to identify, and correlations we have to identify, how the pairwise correlations we have to validate it, and variance inflation factor we have to validate it. So a lot of criteria is available. Based on that only we can go for the pre-processing operations. These all will come under to data quality. Once data quality is completed, then data pre-processing will have to start for fitting the model. Any other question?
Any other questions? Dinesh and Irfan is ready to answer any of your questions. Please ask right away. Today's session. Okay, I guess that's it. Let me share my screen. So we are done with the session today. So tomorrow's session we would go with the linear regression. So today's session we are done. So tomorrow's session, no, we'll go with simple linear regression, multiple linear regression we'll go with, which is coming under machine learning. So like if you want to, that is if you want to invite your friends, no, you can just click on, that is, you can share this thing and you can invite your friends. And also if you want to join in our group, no, I have put that in the chat application, and you can use that link to join the group. Even now, no, I can just paste it, so you can join that in our thing, and you can you can make use of that thing to join in our group. Oh, and also you can also share it to your friends who can join in our group. And next thing, like we would go with the our site bigdatahandson.com. So our earlier 3 sessions videos, that is, we have started the data science part, the statistics part. If you want to learn statistics, then you can click on meetup videos in our website bigdatahandson.com. So if you go to that, and if you click on this meetup uploads, meetup videos, then you will end up here. Yes, and in this place, no, you all have the data science, that is the the probability statistics, basics on data science, probability statistics, and the NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, everything has been discussed here. So please ensure that you also see, if you want to see the data science part, that is the statistics, probability statistics, and the modules, that is the NumPy, Seaborn, on MATLAB, Matplotlib. Like if you want to see those things, please make sure that you see all these 3 videos. And you can come to for the tomorrow session. So tomorrow session will be on logistic, that is linear regression. And if you want to go to our YouTube channel, then you can type the bigdatahandson.com inside this YouTube part, and you can see that our videos would be visible here. So today's video, you can we'll see that we will load it in maybe 2-3 hours. We'll be loading this video inside this. So you can subscribe to our channel using this thing. Like you can just click on this and you can see the video or yesterday's videos. You can see that. So if you want to give likes, you can click on this and give likes. If you want to dislike the video, please dislike it, but provide your comments. So like we'll be able to improve our session further. That is, we would correct the mistakes, whatever you provide in the comments, and we will be able to improve it. So thank you. So we all meet you tomorrow. So tomorrow's topic would be linear regression. So please ensure that you see something in browse something in internet, so it would be easy for you to ask doubts inside linear regression. Thank you all.